is in.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We're going to call this meeting to order at 5:07 p.m. on June 9th. Can I have a roll call?
Yes, Director Aguilar,
Here.
Director Freeman,
Here.
Director Flaherty,
Here.
Director Topliff,
Here.
and Director Dashlet.
Here. This meeting is being recorded.
Yes, I'd like to announce that this meeting is being recorded. And now I'll read a land acknowledgement. So before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge the Chumash people who are the traditional custodians of this land. We pay our respects to the Chumash elders past, present, and future who call this place Anaskoya, the land that Isla Vista sits upon, their home. We are proud to continue their tradition of coming together and growing as a community. We thank the Chumash community for their stewardship and support, and we look forward to strengthening our ties as we continue our relationship of mutual respect and understanding. All right, now I'd like to open up the air for a public comment period. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak or have something to share?
There's no one on Zoom who's raising their hand or in person.
All right. Okay, well, let's move into our discussion and action items. Jonathan, can you go over item 3.1?
Yes, and I'll turn it over to Viviana in a second, but the purpose of this meeting and of this item is to hear a consideration of $8,000 allocation to the Give Sale. The Give Sale is an annual event that takes place during Move Out in Isla Vista. It's organized by Viviana Marzano, and she is here with us today to present and make the request for our determination. So I'm gonna turn it over to Viviana. Thank you for being here.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for considering my request. I consider the IVCSD great partners, in many of the projects that I do in IV. So I don't know if any of you needs an introduction to the Give Sale. If you are familiar with the Give Sale, that's okay. I just don't want to take your time. I see notes that you are all familiar with the Give Sale. So as you know, putting this sale on costs a lot of money. And this year, it's costing more, especially, for example, since 2019, salaries have increased. Minimum wage for students at that time was $12. Now it's $15. I want to ask you if you had an opportunity to see the budget that I sent over. If not, I will share the screen.
No, please share the screen, Viviana.
Okay.
You should be approved for me.
Can you see the screen now?
If you could zoom in, please. Yeah.
How do I zoom in?
It's on your Excel. It should be under page layout. So if you go probably go to 200%.
Oh, in the document, yeah.
Yeah.
Page layout. Sorry about this. I don't see that.
Oh, it's right there in the
middle.
Oh,
here.
Got it.
Okay, can you see now?
It doesn't look like it's zoomed in.
It didn't seem like it got any bigger.
Bigger?
Hey, Viviana, I think you need to go to the bottom right-hand corner. There's a
Oh, yeah, come on. Yes, sorry. The regular, it
There
was
we
too
go.
much. Can you see there now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a very long and convoluted budget, but I'm going to simplify it to you. So this is paid staff, and I hire 14 staff. 4 of them are considered regular staff. The other ones have a student salary, right? So between the staff, I have a furniture coordinator, clothing coordinator, 3 assistant coordinators for the household side, and then I hire around 5 to 6 what we call the truck drivers and the furniture coordinators. And these are the students who go on the truck 12 hours a day to each rest hall, an apartment, living in housing, collecting all the donations. And then when they close, we go to Isla Vista. People call us and we come and pick up big items. So if you look at this, the amount, it's pretty substantial this year because, as I said, the increase in salaries, and also some of us work 200 hours in 14 days. So just for you to get an idea, generally volunteers donate 1,500 hours in that time, and with the staff work another 2,000 hours. And even that is not enough to find, to do it completely, but so this is what we do with staff. And up here, this is how much I have asked from each of these organizations. And here in yellow, you have what I'm asking for you tonight. So besides that, then we have advertising, which is pretty substantial, considering that we donate 100% of the proceeds to Isla Vista nonprofits. So I really need to advertise it extensively. We get people coming from LA, from Ventura, from Santa Maria. So this is a breakdown of some of these things. There are other things that are advertised that are for free, right? So this is the subtotal for advertising. This is the equipment. And I want to make a clarification. Here is rental, I own for the project like 50 tables, but I still rent 80 tables from the university. I rent all of these things, right? I have to fence the place, biodegradable things, couch fumigation, probably 5 years ago, the property providers started thinking that they got the bed bugs from our couches. And I thought this was really funny because we get the couches from their properties. But after that, we came to the agreement that we will tend the couches. We tend them 48 hours before the sale and we fumigate them. But for example, when I make this budget, other years this cost $1,600, now it's costing $2,300, or the tables that I paid $850 this year they are charging me $1,400. But these things are not reflected here because this is the budget that I submitted before I got those 2 prices. Okay, and then here we have supplies, and then I have to have volunteers, feed the volunteers the day of the sale and things like that. So if you look at here, this is how much, can you see that? This is how much I requested from each organization. And this is how much they gave me. So basically, Finance Board could not fund the whole amount, and Coastal Fund could not fund the whole amount. So what I did for my request to the IVCSD, I included those items that those 2 entities could not fund, and I'm requesting that, So for example, this is Coastal Fund couldn't fund this position for the coordinator, so I requested that. So I'm requesting 2 positions, one for $2,700 and one for $3,000. And then I'm requesting supplies the biodegradable bags, the rental for the truck, and the fumigation. But again, I'm still requesting the fumigation at the old price. I don't want to be greedy, you know, but if you think about it, I'm short $9,130 plus the difference between the tables and things like that. So probably I'm short $11,000 and I'm requesting $8,000 tonight. Any questions? Was that confusing?
Thank you for that, Viviana. Thank you for your presentation. Questions from the board?
Yeah, Jay?
So the question that I have is, so we, as far as after we give the money, allocations on our end, I'm curious if this is kind of a question. I don't know if it's towards Jonathan or towards somebody, but I'm wondering if this is the kind of thing that we might be able to allocate towards the subset of our funds that are from the university, partly because this is funding that seems to be going towards hiring student workers and protecting student workers with supplies for the student workers, and because I'm trying to figure out ways of getting us to be able to spend down that money that we have. So
yeah, we could request it for sure. We've done that before for some of these special one-off projects, like we did the COVID-19 campaign that was targeted towards students. We requested the university funds for it. The only thing is, like, if you were thinking, would this be like an internal transfer at the university, it would still come to us and then we pay it back to Viviana, to the gift sale.
Yeah, actually, that wasn't quite the question. I was actually kind of wondering, because I'm not even sure what exactly the process is, but like I think it'd be great. I'm sorry, my not working well today. I'm too tired. We send the money to the gift sale to Viviana, and then are we able to like retroactively do requests to UCSB? Do you think that they'll tolerate anything like that, or?
The COVID-19 campaign, we decided we were doing and then asked for it, but we spent it over a few months. I'm sure if we asked them that we were requesting for this, I could get an approval, you know, if they're amenable tomorrow. If I called Chuck Haynes, it's usually a conversation between me and Chuck Haynes. I let him know this is what the district's requesting, and he'll say yes or no.
I would just like to make certain that we do that, because I would try to spend down that money, and it seems based upon this budget that it would be in line with the kinds of things that the university seems to like spending money on. So, or spending that money
I can call Chuck right away tomorrow after this.
You know, I want to add for people that might not be that familiar with the sale. This sale has been going on for 30 years. And we collect 40 to 50 tons of donated goods that get out of the streets of Isla Vista, you know, and they are all donated. Whatever we don't sell gets donated to the Goodwill. So this doesn't go to the landfill. And that's also, you know, I feel that's very important for the community to know.
Thank you for that question. Thank you for that, Jay. Director Deschler, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Viviana, for your presentation. I wondered if you could just go to the top of your screen, and you have a list of entities that you've requested money for.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could just name each one of them, please.
Yeah, this is the Isla Vista Community Relations Committee in AS. This is, well, Housing, CAP, Community Affairs Board. This is Finance Board. The Goodwill provides, you know, it's more like the big containers that they give us so that we don't have to rent. Because if not, I would have to rent them from Marburg, let's say. Then Coastal Fund, also from AS.
Okay, so the Finance Board, is that an AS entity?
Yes.
Okay. And then Housing, are you talking UCSB Housing?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Sorry.
And so, that's okay. And so from your budget, you are still approximately, did you say $9,000 short?
I'm a little bit more short, but I don't want to ask for the whole amount. I'm conscious, I have a little bit money left over from Give Save 2019. So I'm also willing, to pitch in that. There are other considerations, my salary, I know I get paid for the university, but for this event, I work 14 hours a day, and those are things that we are not factoring in the budget, right? And other things that we contribute, the photocopying from the office, a lot of things that I don't put in here.
Yeah, I do think there's value to quantifying the in-kind contribution.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because it is a significant amount that the university is contributing to this endeavor. We don't see it in the numbers, but we know it's happening, and I think there's value to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so so that's all. Those are the questions I had. Thank you. I appreciate your work, and I'm doing my part to get the message out about the campaign.
Yay, thank you.
Because I told my family, I'm like, listen, this is happening. This just is a giant sale. We got to get the message out. It's really important. So I'm notifying people up and down the coast of California.
Yeah, thank you. We are going to, so now we are trying to recruit volunteers, but starting probably tomorrow or the weekend, we are doing next door. We are doing free and for, all over. We are going to be in the Independent, the Newshawk, the Daily Nexus. Sometimes John Palmentieri comes and covers it, so I need to call him.
That's very good. I told my husband, well, you don't need to know all this, but I was going to go to IKEA this weekend. And then I thought, oh no, I can't go to IKEA this weekend because the gift sale's coming.
Good. I hope we don't disappoint. We also have to consider that because the sale hasn't happened since 2019, there are students that are here that have never heard about it because they were never in IV when the sale took place. So I am a little bit worried if you think about it for everything, volunteer recruitment and things like that. I know this year will be an uphill battle, but we'll see. You never know.
Thank you for the question, Director Deschler. Director Topliff.
I enjoyed your presentation, and I'm a very big fan of the Give Sale. I think that you've done an amazing job. Back in my day, we actually did dumpster diving in June, and this is much more hygienic. And you've done such a fantastic way of organizing it. I've always been super impressed, and I've been a very enthusiastic shopper there. So,
thank you.
My hat's off to you, because I can see that it's just an enormous amount of organization that goes into it, and it shows because it's really beautifully run. And there's so many times when you go to an event like this and it's chaotic and nobody knows what they're doing, and I've never seen that there. It's always just impeccable. So I really
thank you. I hope I don't disappoint this year. If you think about it, between volunteers hours and our hours, we worked 3,500 hours in 14 days.
Well, it shows. A lot of work goes into it to make it so smooth. I guess I don't quite understand your business model, because I see $60,000 in expenses, and yet you're only asking for a small amount, and then I don't see how much money you're raising that's going out to your nonprofits.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is only to put on the sale, right? To pay all of these things. So the nonprofits, so 100% of the proceeds are donated to nonprofits. So I'm going to give you an example with these numbers. Let's say that we sell $30,000. Every day that a volunteer comes to volunteer to the sale, they sign in a timesheet. Time in, time out, time in, time out. So let's say, and at the end, we have a huge spreadsheet per volunteer and per organization. So let's say that we sell $30,000 and the volunteers donated 1,500 hours. That translates to $20 per hour. So if you came and volunteered 20 hours to the gift sale to, let's say, IVYP, because you are on the board or something like that, you have raised $400 for them.
And I do understand that. I guess what I don't understand is, in general numbers, do you raise about $30,000 and you spend $60,000 to
yeah,
raise it?
but yes. Okay, we have the year that we raised the most was $43,000. But when people ask me that question, I want to keep in mind that the main reason for the sale is to keep all those items out of the landfill. So that's the main reason. So that's the success, that we keep 40 to 50 tons out of the landfill. You know, there is a cost to it, but it's the only way to do it, because who will do all that amount of work, you know? So the volunteers come. We know that, we understand that. Some people tell me, oh, why don't you raise the $60,000 and give it to all these agencies? But then we will have the 40 tons of trash in IV.
And so who pays, how do you raise the money that makes the difference between the money you're requesting and the 60,000 and that it costs you to put on the event?
No, it's not, you know, I consider them two separate pots. I don't need to make them, oh, I know what you are saying. No, when I go into the sale, I have already raised the money that I need to put it on. So I'm not losing money. Does it make sense?
No. So I'm seeing roughly $60,000 worth of costs, but I'm seeing you ask for, I can't see the bottom line, but like 15 or 20. So where does that other money come from?
I raised generally the $60,000. Oh, you want to see what other agencies?
Well, I just don't quite understand your business model. So
it's not a business model, it's probably a charity, you know? Yeah, I know what you are saying. So for me, it's two different pots of money, right?
Actually, maybe use the spreadsheet. So Carrie, if you look, it's 13,000 plus 4,000 plus 18,000 plus 12,000, and those total to 60,000.
Yeah.
Oh, so you actually get donations that cover all the costs. So that
yeah, all of these that I explained in the. So, for example, if I were to do like this is how much?
Yeah, it was a 59,000. I saw it.
It's
That is
50,
your fault.
yeah.
Okay, that's what I didn't understand.
Sorry, so sorry.
All right, thank you. That answered my question.
Sorry about all the explanation. I thought you had seen this at the bottom. I'm so sorry.
Oh, thank you for that explanation, Viviana. And I'm glad Carrie brought it up, because that was one of the questions I was going to ask is, can you talk a little bit about the nonprofits that receive the funding?
Yes.
I know you mentioned that they're nonprofits. I think there's some government agencies in there as well.
Yeah, that's true. Isla Vista, okay. This, you know, you have to think that when they started this project, I wasn't involved in the project, but it's basically nonprofits or agencies that offer services to the community. So for Isla Vista Recreation and Park District, we were funding two projects. One, the Adopt the Block, and the other one, you know that IVRPD has an after-school program that they couldn't do this year because of COVID, right? And at the end, in the summer, they take the children to a science camp in Sequoia or, you know, up north. So, and these are all low-income children in IV. So this helps them a lot, you know. Sometimes they raise $5,000 from this. Another agency is IVYP, and we are all familiar with IVYP. So it helps them, they decide what they want to put it on. It could be materials for the classes, you know, it could be things like that. The only agency that the money goes directly to the parents, but the money is not given to the parents really. The Isla Vista Elementary School, they have 2 science camps, one in the 5th grade and one in the 6th grade. And as you know, there are a lot of low-income families in IV that could not afford to send their kids. So the parents come and volunteer, and then when I do the spreadsheet and I give the money to the school with the name of each parent and how much they made, so each of these parents has an account in the school that it's going to pay for that camp. So they don't get cash, nothing like that. And it's really beautiful because I have had parents that say, oh, I'm done with the money that I need, but I'm coming to volunteer and donate the money to my son's classmate, you know, or things like that. So that's beautiful. These are some, this year we have included Ecovista because we feel that some of the projects that they do in the community are also good. St. George Youth Center also gets funding that go to their teams, projects with their teams. You are mute.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that explanation. It's great to hear all the benefiting programs. Any further questions from the board? Director Freeman.
I guess I just want to verify I understand. So the volunteers that volunteer for your
the gift sale.
The volunteer for the gift sale.
Yeah.
You were kind of indicating that they were then helping direct how much money was going to the different organizations and nonprofits.
They choose when they come in and they check in every day. They tell me I'm volunteering for IVYP. So
great. Okay.
These agencies recruit volunteers. I also have volunteers that come and they don't know which one. We have a description of each agency and they choose that.
Great. The reason that you've already answered my question. The reason I was asking the question was because it satisfies this little niggling thing in my mind of saying, are we, would we have to care if we were essentially now indirectly donating to nonprofits or anything? But my mental model of it now is that we're donating to the gift sale in order to run the gift sale. And separately, you are providing an incentivization scheme for volunteers that is related to this nonprofit thing. And I'm not considering that part of what we're doing. That's entirely separate to get volunteers. I'm excited to think of it that way. And
I also want to mention that we donate around at least 2,000 pounds of food to the food bank every year. And then whatever the food bank cannot take because it's open or whatever, Food Not Bombs uses the food for their, feeding in the parks, so nothing goes to waste, nothing. And then the night we finish the sale, that same night, we pack 2 huge containers for the Goodwill and they get whatever we don't sell.
Excellent. Thank you for your question and thanks for your response, Viviana. I'm going to try and move this along because I see we're going over time now. Are there any further questions from the board? All right. Well, seeing none, any deliberation from the board on this funding request?
I'll start. I think this is obviously a great project and good use of funds. I don't have a strong preference if the funds come from the UCSB amount or other account. I have no preference on that, but I think, I love that Viviana really focused on the fact that this is less about a sale and more about an environmental solution. And I think that that's something that we should be proud of to support.
Thank you, Director Deschler. Any further feedback from the board? We'll all agree with Director Deschler that the good here is in so many different ways, but the most immediate impact is on our streets, helping keep it clean. And this has been a huge priority. It's one of our board goals to continue to beautify Isla Vista And so I'll be very happy to support this funding request. And just want to say a huge thank you to you, Viviana, for all of the work that you do, tireless effort to put this sale on. I will be very excited to join you on Saturday to volunteer and help out to keep the streets clean and help people get some new furniture, clothes, everything. So
thank you. I know you are a little bit late, but I just want to mention that I met with Jonathan and Carly and Casey, and we are starting a new collaboration with your compost collective that is going to save hours of the sale with the food donation. So I'm super, super thankful and very excited about being your partners in this.
excellent, thank you. Any other comments from the board?
Oh, I just want to quickly note, I think it originally was 8,000, but now the request is 9,100.
No, I'm saying that the total that I'm short is 9,100, and I'm asking for 8. I don't want to be greedy, people, so I'm just saying 8,000, and it will help me, immensely.
We'll see no other deliberation. Is anyone ready to make a motion? Director Topliff?
I'd like to move that we donate the whole 9,100 that Viviana has identified as a shortfall right now in support of this project. And I'll leave it up to Jonathan to discuss with the university whether or not we take the funds from that venue, but I'm also indifferent as to how we fund it. I just think we should.
I will second that motion.
All right, motion made by Topliff, seconded by Freeman. Any other comments from the board on the motion? All right, well, seeing none, I think we're ready to take it to a roll call vote. Jonathan, can you call the roll?
Dr. Brandt?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
Dr. Bertrand?
Yes.
Dr. Freeman?
Yes.
Dr. Flaherty?
Yes.
Dr. Topliff?
Yes.
Dr. Deshler?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Thank you again, Viviana, for all of your work on this, and we are super happy to support.
And I'm super, super thankful to you. And I'm running back to Embarcadero Hall. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Take care. Okay, so that is our only action item on the agenda today. I know we also have reports on there, but I think we're going to delay those to the regular meeting in line with our policies. And our next regular meeting will take place on June 14th at 6 p.m. on Zoom and in the community room. And so with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
I will second.
Made by Topliff, seconded by Freeman. Any further comments? All right, let's do a roll call vote.
Dr. Brandt?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Bertrand?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Flaherty?
Yes.
Topliff?
Yes.
Deshler?
Yes, indeed.
All right, thanks everyone.
See you Saturday at the sale.
Oh, awesome. I'll see you there. Hey, Jonathan, is this the same link for finance that we're going to use?
It is the same link.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll just stay on.
You're not joining us?
I am not in Isla Vista right now.
Rats.
Got away. All right, Finance Committee is, we can call it order whenever you're ready.
Okay. Welcome